Hi, and welcome to another episode of Diary of a Migration Lawyer. Today, I am going to talk about the ever so exciting topic of labour market testing. Labour market testing will apply to everything from the subclass 482, TSS, temporary skill shortage visa, which are all the same thing, or the subclass 494, which essentially is the employer-sponsored regional visa. So when you're thinking about labour market testing, you are required to advertise the role on 3 different platforms. One of those platforms must be Workforce Australia. Workforce Australia is the Australian government's version of Seek, and essentially every job that is presented to immigration as a role that needs to be filled by a foreign talent is one that must be advertised on Workforce Australia. You might also advertise on somewhere like Seek, LinkedIn, Recruiter, Indeed, some of these sort of national job boards that have national reach. With something like LinkedIn, though, a LinkedIn post is not enough. So you can't be the director of a company and say, hey, I've got this job available, come work for us. It needs to be via their job board platform. So that is a separate sort of thing outside of you doing a post on LinkedIn. It also is not enough, and it used to be okay in the good old days, to advertise roles on something like Facebook, Gumtree, other social media platforms, but you just can't do that anymore. So what they want to see is that roles are posted on reputable sites. You can also post in the newspaper or on the radio, but honestly, who's doing that? But it is possible. You can do that. If you are an accredited sponsor, you can also advertise the role on your website. If you don't know if you're an accredited sponsor, you're probably not. So don't advertise a role on the website and think that you can use that as a source. Definitely check with the notification of your sponsorship to see if you're an accredited sponsor, or check with your migration provider to find that out. What do you put in this job and how long does it have to run for, and all of those details. So the job must run for 28 days within the last 4 months, and the 28 days must completely fall within the 4-month period prior to lodgement of the nomination. That is, it can't be 27 days that falls into the last 4-month period. It must be the full 28-day period falling into the last 4 months. What you want to include in that job advertisement is the job title and a bit of a position description. So what are the skills that this person is going to have to meet this role? What are the qualifications that are required? And are there any licenses or registration that's going to need to be sought prior to being able to start work? You also want to have the name of your approved the approved sponsor, which is your company name. And you need to have the salary listed on the job ad, unless the occupation that you are nominating attracts a salary of at least $96,400. Unless the job attracts a salary of something that high, then you don't have to have the salary listed. But in all other cases, anything below that, you do have to have the salary listed on the ad. A salary range is also okay. So if you don't want to disclose the complete salary, banding or salary kind of benchmarks that you have within your organization, you can provide a salary range, and that's okay too. When you're trying to evidence the fact that you've done your labour market testing, you want to have a record of these labour market testing efforts. So if you sort of think about it, in a standard kind of package of labour market testing evidence, you have 3 job ads, and they're screenshots of those ads. You can see the date that it was posted or how long it's been posted for. You can see all the details that are listed in that ad. You can see the company name listed on that job ad as well, the job title, all of those things. And you also have maybe the back-end data analytics. So on these platforms now, everything's a little bit fancy with the data analytics, and you can see how many times someone's clicked the post, how many times someone's applied for a job, all of those things. And so we can pull that out of the back-end data of some of these platforms. Alternatively, it might just be that the old version of a data analytics of just an Excel spreadsheet of 30 people applied for the job, 2 got to interview, we hired 1, and they didn't work out. So we just need to have some data to be able to show the department, okay, we went and tested the Australian labour market. This is what we tried to do. This is what happened. And this is kind of the outcomes. If you say that you hired 0 people as a result of those job ads, we do need to provide a reason as to why that's the case. And generally the reason is because the person didn't have the requisite skills, the person didn't have enough experience, or the person doesn't even have anything to do with the job title or role that you've nominated, which does happen from time to time, unfortunately. If all this sounds a little bit scary and a little bit too much work, your migration provider can certainly help you with drafting ads or telling you what are the important bits to have in the ads. But you can also engage with a recruitment agency to support you in posting the ads on your behalf. With a recruitment agency, as long as they have their company name in the ad, and it is clear that it is an ad that would reflect what your business does, and it is clear that it's an ad for the nominated position, having a recruiter post the ads is totally okay. And what you would want to have as an additional piece of evidence if a recruiter was to post the job is an agreement or some sort of kind of understanding in place in writing to show that you have engaged the recruiter for that service. Because if you don't have some sort of evidence of engagement with that recruiter, essentially you could just be saying any recruiter is posting job ads on your behalf. Taking into account all that crazy labor market testing stuff that you need to do as a nominating sponsor, there are some exemptions to the rule. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the exemptions, but I will leave them down in the comments. So if you would like to double check if any of your applicants have a potential exemption, go for it. Some of the exemptions will relate to someone's citizenship, nationality, or permanent residence country. So someone from Canada, for example, are exempt from providing labour market testing. There might also be an exemption around the occupation or the type of engagement that you have with an individual. So some of the senior management roles where a person is coming into Australia as an intra-company transfer and will be managing a significant portion of the business in Australia, something like that wouldn't genuinely need labour market testing to be provided as part of the application. It doesn't mean that you definitely won't do labour market testing. It just means that evidence isn't required to be provided. So check out all the exemptions down below in the comments, and that'll give you a little bit more guidance as to whether or not any of those things apply to your business. Alternatively, go back and listen to the video, create a checklist, and that'll help you get through the labour market testing requirement. That is all for today's video. We hope that you understand labour market testing a little bit more. If you need assistance, please reach out to Passage Migration Consulting. We would love to help. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you back soon. Thanks for watching Diary of a Migration Lawyer. If you would like some more hints, tips, tricks on how to do migration yourself or with a strategic partner like a migration lawyer, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Diary of Migration Lawyer.